Hello everyone, I'm Caroline. I'm Partnerships Manager in EVA, and today we have CEO and the co-founder of EVA. We're gonna have a little chat and maybe answer your questions and have an amazing conversation. Okay, so hi, and we are very pleased and grateful for you have you here in this platform. So, could you please tell us how did the idea of EVA came up at the first place?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I mean, it's great to be in the office and with you, Caroline. It's also our first podcast, and being the first guest of the first podcast, I think that's really great. It's amazing. So, I am in the Amazon business for more than a decade, together with my partner, Barry. And Barry and I had a meeting, it was like a few years back in Houston. And we were both selling on Amazon, reselling, as well as private label uh, business. And Barry told me, like, why don't we do something better for the Amazon sellers? Because he was using like all types of software, not really happy with any of them. That was like more like tools or only focused on one area. And we decided to build a platform, not only just using development tools or software, but also using the power of artificial intelligence. And altogether, that's how we decided to start with the EVA.
That's very amazing. We're very thankful that you started EVA. Can I ask what kind of values and targets EVA have for future and for now?
Sure, absolutely. So we started from pricing because in our decade of Amazon business, we always had that big challenge of like, what should be the impact of price? In the early days, the price was more relevant, especially for in the reselling business because there is the buy box ownership. Later on, with the private labels penetrating into the Amazon business, pricing was less of a priority. But nowadays, like looking at how the advertising works, we see that pricing is really becoming again really fundamental, like in retail, also for the Amazon business and also for the private labels. So our primary focus is really to make sure that pricing is done right for brands, aggregators, private labels, agencies, and resellers. So Eva is the platform, and she will tell you the best price for any point in time. And that's the most important thing for us to do. And we're going to continue on that, but pricing itself is not just the one thing. As we are building a platform, we want to support the Amazon sellers end to end. It starts from the prep center software, and our vision is to make sure that they use the Amazon Seller Central for operations and use Eva for managing their business.
Okay, that's great. So you can say the pricing is very important for EVA. It's very effective tool. So do you have any other tools and features that you can differentiate EVA from the others?
I, th- I think that the main thing here is AI, and we have seen that AI is used heavily with the Amazon software space, but only as a marketing word. Like we have used pretty much every single software that has been developed for the Amazon sellers. And unfortunately, we haven't seen that AI is really utilized other than a marketing word. And what we are doing is we have more than 15 million products priced by EVA. We have billions of transactions that are building the history of the databases, and a huge data lake that we are using to power our artificial intelligence. So that's the major differentiator. Having said that, the second or third or the fourth, like, it's not only about pricing, but we also help the Amazon sellers with the reimbursements, where we use the AI to detect several anomalies on the Amazon site and ensure that our reimbursement team is like, get it, like opening the cases, following up on them, and make sure that the reimbursements are done properly and in a very cost effective way, because we have seen like small reimbursement focus 2 3 people companies making tons of money by doing reimbursements, and we want to make sure that that is stopped, and we are able to provide an end-to-end service in a very cost-effective way and in a comprehensive way. Another part of our major software is also the replenishment forecasting. That is absolutely a necessary for the FBA sellers, because the Amazon forecasts are typically not always the most accurate, because the Amazon doesn't know exactly the profits, like what is the profit for every single item, because the way we do the forecasting on the replenishment is based on the profits and the profit velocity, because we know the cost information, because we are doing the pricing for the same sellers and for the same products. So that also helps us a lot to make sure that we have a end-to-end, kind of comprehensive solution for replenishment forecasting. And because we have all this information, we're able to give insights to the sellers in terms of helping them to maximize their profits.
Thank you. So I can say that because also a part of it, the customers are very important for Eva, for us. So we are a customer first company. Can you say how well actually Eva understand its customers?
It was like 15 years back when I started in a company. There's a very special place in my heart, and the name of that company was Siebel. And it was, started by Tom Siebel, and I had the privilege to meet with him. And he had in his signature, it is all about the customer. And that was always like my thinking strategy. It's always about the customer, and it's a customer first mentality. Now we try to build the same with Eva, and we know that it's not the most efficient way always. It's not the most profitable way for a software company, but the way we work is we have 24 by 7 support, and our customers, whether they pay us $24 or $24,000, they can reach to us right away from multiple channels, from chat, from, like they can call us, they can email us. There's a dedicated account manager, and every single employee of Eva is also a dedicated account manager for our customers. And that's the customer first. We also prioritize our existing customers' requirements over anything else. So if a customer comes with a requirement, we make sure that it becomes a part of our roadmap too.
Thank you. Thank you so much for answering that sincerely. Okay, so I'm gonna ask another little bit engaging and personal question. Do you have any success tips or any suggestions for e-commerce or Amazon sellers?
I mean, it's a great question. I think we may start with a reality. Like a lot of Amazon sellers start on Amazon because they want a ticket to freedom, and they want to be free. And I understand that, and it is important. Amazon business will definitely give you the flexibility. In terms of freedom, it's not that easy. So the Amazon business really takes a lot of your time, but you decide at what time you can work. I mean, that's maybe the best part, like having the flexibility, but it still requires hard work. It requires resilience, especially in the beginning, and it requires passion. I believe, the Amazon sellers, if they have passion, resilience, and if they work hard, then if they also use Eva, there is absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be successful.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Okay, then moving on, I'm gonna ask, what kind of people do you think struggle on Amazon? Or you can also answer, what kind of people are successful on Amazon?
Right. I mean, kind of like we already talked about success, and really requires to be passionate and unique. Now, the ones like also fail on Amazon is like
Yeah.
if you look at the sellers, if they give up, like most of them, they give up on the first 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So 90% of the failure. So that's why the persistence, the resilience is important, because the further you push, definitely there are a lot of ways of making money on Amazon. But it just requires to be resilient and continue to do what you are doing. Now, there are like so many ways to be successful. I cannot say if you're a reseller, you'll be better. If you're private label, it's much better. Obviously, being private label seller, there is more than one value, because it's not only about the revenue you make, but there is also an intellectual property, the value of the company that the private sellers are building, which is most of the time even worth much more than the total revenue that the profits that the business is making. So being a private label has like a double dip, like there's like two ways of getting kind of value out of the business: revenue and the value of the company. And I think that is more kind of like the way that most of the people go. But having said that, we are working with a lot of resellers. They are becoming more and more successful, and making millions of dollars. So there is, business for everyone in e-commerce.
Okay, so do you have any little short story about your success on this e-commerce and Amazon business that you would like to share with us for everyone?
Wow, okay. A little short story. Well, I mean, it's more kind of a journey, the success, and it's more about really to be, to be passionate about what you are doing. But on my side, I think that my little short story is also to find my co-founder today, who I built Eva together, because having the right partner helps you a lot. Not only maybe like in your life, if you marry with the right person, probably the life will be a lot easier. It's the same thing in the business life. And me and my partner, like, I mean, it's a coincidence, but somehow we started working together, and it's a great journey from that day till now. So I think it's a bit of a luck, but I always recommend like finding the right partner, and kind of building things together with a team, and that will be a great recipe for success.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna ask one last question. So, what if the product doesn't work?
You mean Eva?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Then we should jump out of the window. Well, the way we are developing Eva is on AWS, so like we are a partner of Amazon, and the way we develop EVA is almost like it's robust as a banking software, because the quality standards that we deliver is like being like building a redundant software, redundant platform. It's high available, and all the things together. I mean, there is like a, as of today, it has 99.59 availability to our users. Also working on top of the Amazon cloud infrastructure. And strange but true that many of our competitors and most of the software in the Amazon world, it's not even like leveraging the Amazon infrastructure. And even if they do, they kind of like build everything on a single instance, which is subject to failure. Well, in our case, it really works, and it's high available thanks to Amazon, and thanks to spending maybe 5 times more money than many other software vendors on being reliable, which is very important for us. Having said that, sometimes it may not work, but I mean, so far, like, because we have like a superior customer service, and as I mentioned, our customer success teams are available 24/7, we were able to kind of pinpoint any, any single transaction failures or anything similar in a very fast way. And that is, again, going back to the customer first mentality.
Okay, thank you so much for this brilliant stories and informations. We're very happy to you shared them with us. So I hope everyone will enjoy this podcast. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Caroline.